morning. Good morning. How are you doing today? Good morning, Connor. Trying to figure out the studio here. It's hard when I don't have my co-hosts, but we'll see how it goes today. Good morning, everybody watching. Looks like we got 10 here. Excellent. I'm Jason Turner, one of the co-hosts that usually jump on in the morning every day. We discuss Daily Dads with Ryan Holiday. 365 daily meditations on parenting, love, and raising kids. Something I found very valuable in the past 6 months or so of reading, not just for kids, but just kind of how I do my daily life as well. Happy Valentine's Day. Hopefully it went well for you guys. Apologies if my dogs run behind me. Volume. There we go. Question for you guys today. We're talking about appreciation for your kids. Something that I see not just in my kids, but also in the students that I teach. Question for you guys is, what's something that you admire for in your kids? Or maybe even your partner? Maybe you don't have kids, maybe you're kid-free. What's something you appreciate? And have you told them? That's something I've been working on myself, is when you appreciate something about somebody. Good morning, Paul. Welcome. I'm going to go ahead and toss our stream into the chat here. In case anybody wants to jump in and chew the fat with me, that's great. Might be a short stream today. How do I do that here? Let's see. We got Mitchell on today. Welcome, Mitchell. And Paul. Let's see if I can share this here. Paul, Mitchell, join me. I've never seen your faces before. Let's see if that works there. Daily gratitude. What am I thankful for? We got a good Valentine's Day here. My routine is I usually wake up early anyway. So I usually make crepes because I like making crepes and I like making stuff. And I made the whipped cream pink. Then I told my kids that there were strawberries in them, even though there weren't. And it went pretty well. Got to show appreciation for them, for my wife. And it's important that to me that my kids feel that and see that, because I like to see that. I want my kids to see that I appreciate my wife as well, because in the back of my head, what kind of relationship do I want my kids to be in when they are older? And at the very least, I want to show them what a healthy relationship looks like. So that's something that drives some of those decisions that I make. Who's in? Paul's coming on in. Paul, good morning.
Good morning, Jay.
Nice to see your face.
Yeah, pleasure to finally meet you here. I know it's kind of weird because I'm always watching you guys every day, but it's the first time you're meeting me.
Yeah, no, that's awesome.
Let's see.
What was I going to
Okay,
say? This is new to me. I've never done a stream by myself.
You and me both.
All the things. Hang on one second, Paul. Get my dogs.
There's a way I can see the chat from here.
So everybody else is out today. And in my head, sometimes you feel like you're going to do some kind of video or presentation, have all these really clever things you're going to say. And I thought of all of those, but now they're all gone. So this is the authentic me in the morning.
That's what I like to see. I'm new to this too, so the first time I'm actually on a stream. I know I've been invited up a few times, but I don't know, never find the courage to get behind the camera or in front of the camera.
Yeah. So it's a day of firsts.
Yeah. Yep.
Excellent. Well, Paul, let's start off with some gratitude. What's something that you're what's your grats today?
I'm definitely grateful for my wife and my baby. She decorated the whole house. Today's my birthday, so I wasn't expecting it. Late last night when I came home, I just got like some balloons, some party streamers. So
nice. You still get balloon treatment. That's good.
Yeah.
That's something we do with our kids. We want them to wake up with balloons in their room. So it's usually the birthday mornings or the birthday nights are blowing up balloons quietly and carefully, walking them into the room. so they walk into them.
That's exciting.
Also, sweet piece of art on your wall behind you.
Thank you.
That's cool.
Yeah, I just treated myself a few years ago.
Nice. Well, let's get into the reading. Do you read the book?
I have.
Every day?
I used to, but I haven't had the time. I have a 4-month-old now, so I'm lucky to even get on stream in the mornings. She's going through a sleep regression this past, I want to say the past 3 weeks. So the nights are kind of rough, but it's all right. We're still trying.
I know exactly what that feels like. Yeah. Yeah, and congrats to you for entering fatherhood.
Thank you.
It's a lot of the sleepless nights aren't going to go away for a little bit, so steel yourself for that.
The best I could do is try to get to bed a little earlier instead of staying up until 11, 12. Just try to get in bed by 8, 9 o'clock, and that definitely helps at 3 a.m.
Yeah, that going to bed thing, that's just what you do now. Is like I'm at the point where it's like, okay, 9 o'clock that's my bedtime. I used to, and let me ask you this question, since you're a new father. Before you had a kid, what was your nightly routine? Like, where did you stay up? Were you more of a night owl?
Definitely more of a night owl. We would wake up around 9, 10 o'clock, and we'd stay up until around 12, 1 o'clock. I used to have very late dinners, 8, 9 o'clock dinners. And so that, of course, led into a late night sitting on the couch and watching movies with Taylor. But now everything is much more, I guess, scheduled. Bedtime is a lot more important than it used to be. There's no more one more episode. Now it's like we'll watch one episode of the show we're watching. We'll go to sleep right after that. So I guess it's definitely a healthier routine instead of just winging it every day. But
Yeah, it's definitely a forced routine for sure. Because you're not the boss right now, Paul.
No, the baby is.
Yeah. That part comes back. I was before kids and even like into maybe my first 2 kids, my night, like between 9 and midnight 1 was like my golden time when like that was the time when I would, do the things I need to do, or work on the things I want to work on. And maybe I think like 35, 36 is about the age when I started to notice that it was really starting to make my mornings drag.
Staying up late.
And I didn't change that until maybe like 41, 42. And now I'm just totally loving early bedtimes.
That's something I can appreciate a little more now.
Mitchell, if you want to join us, just I think if you just click on that link I put in the Mitch is from the chat.
Okay, now I could see the comments. Oh, you can
Yeah,
even comments through X as well.
I'm gonna go. Oh, is the chat? This is all brand new to me. I feel like I feel like I'm learning new technology.
Yeah, that's how it
Um,
goes. Just playing around with this back end here.
yeah. Hang on a second. Let's see here. Just in case Paul wants to jump on here. Oh, wait, no, Paul. I meant Mitchell.
No, she's trying to talk. I don't know if you hear her.
Yeah, it's music. It's music during the day. At night, not always. Especially around 3 a.m.
Come say hi to everybody.
Oh, we're gonna get a new little host here.
Say hi.
What's up, girly? What's her name?
Harper Rose.
What's up, Harper? Welcome. Welcome to the chat.
Come on, let's get this sleeve. Come on. Where's that hand?
Oh, the noises. I remember the noises. This is all very nostalgic to me.
How many do you have now?
I have 3 girls,
3
11, 9, and now 6. My youngest birthday is the day before Valentine's Day.
13th.
So we got to celebrate that. She's still wrapped around my leg. She's like my little buddy.
That's awesome. That's what I hope for her. I want to be best friends with her for forever.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll happen. Just got to be there.
Yeah.
Show them appreciation. Tell them what you appreciate about them. Since Harper is very young, and we're talking about showing them or giving them the things they need. One of those is appreciation, whether they say so or not. What's maybe something, or do you, or without saying it, do you show appreciation for maybe your partner or somebody else?
I definitely
Are you
appreciate
good? Like, are you good at telling people that? I used to not be. Like, I think I used to dance around the subject, either in like light sarcasm or I would jokeify it. But as time went on, I kind of found the value in being like authentic and authentically telling them why I appreciate the thing they do, even with my wife. Yeah.
Glad you asked that because I definitely started to practice that a lot more often after the first few weeks. I guess just watching the way my wife stepped up and the way things have changed, I couldn't help but just tell her how amazing of a mother she is and how great she's doing. And I guess that wasn't me in the past. I wasn't always handing out compliments so much, but I definitely have been showing her more appreciation and even telling little Harper how beautiful she is and how thankful I am she would sleep through the nights, although that didn't last very long. But
Yeah.
she loves it because she'll react to it. I'll sit there and I'll talk to her about how beautiful she is and how great she's doing and how strong she's becoming. And she'll sit there and smile at me and laugh. And it's more reactions than just sitting there and clapping my hands or playing peekaboo. And I know she doesn't understand the words I'm saying, but I think she is accepting the energy I'm putting out, if that makes sense.
That makes perfect sense. Yeah. Even like right now, it's just noises coming out of your mouth, right?
Yeah.
But at some point, she's going to start to know what those words mean.
Yeah, I'm excited. I almost can't wait to see her personality and have conversations with her. But at the same time, I definitely do want to wait and just enjoy this moment with her.
Yeah. What else did I write down? I've gotten into the habit of writing in my book, which is helpful because I feel like I think good things and I feel like I'll remember them, but I normally don't. And this is maybe this is an advice part for you, Paul. because I'm in uh, three different daughters, three different ages, three different life stages.
It all right now.
And say it again.
I say you're experiencing it all right now.
Yeah, and I love it. And I'm sleeping finally, which is good. Um, and then here, maybe it's not so much of a question, maybe an observation. And anybody that's on today, if you feel like commenting in on this, that would be great. But with my youngest two, it's like, yes, you should be telling them what you appreciate. You're guiding them. You're still telling them how to navigate certain situations. With my 11-year-old, we're in the stage now where she's starting to break on her own. I might even say that I'm slightly uncool, or maybe she's saying my parents don't know me. And I think she's going through that thing of like pre
Preteen.
teenage years where there's emotion she's feeling that she hasn't had yet. Um, she's in the stage where she's starting to compare herself to others. In a few days, we were talking about comparison and how that's the thief of joy. Um,
I would agree.
and the question is, or I guess just my observation is, at what point do we stop talking and just let them navigate it on our own? Um, that's my current challenge is, do I have to vocally coach them through it? And I would say no. It's like at some point you just gotta kinda let them shut up and let them figure let me no. At some point, I have to shut up and just let them navigate it on their own. You'll get there too at someday, you
Oh
know?
yeah. Oh yeah. I had three sisters growing up, so I kind of I always reflect and think back at how it was growing up back at in my parents' house and how they handle things and how I want to do things differently. But I can't even imagine what it's like going through with my own child because I guess I was that kind of kid that was standoffish from my parents. I wouldn't share much, kind of look at them like not like the bad guy, but
Is that a fart? Did we get it? Do we get our first fart?
no,
Oh, okay.
it might have been my dog jumping off the couch. But yeah, it's definitely a challenge I would like to prepare myself more for because God knows I want to be her best friend up until. Man, I hope she asks me to go to the bar with her when she turns 21 and have her and share our first drink together. I just hope it's like that. But it's relationships, feelings, emotions. There's so much going into it, into those teenage years.
You said that you were kinda closed off from your parents. I think I was, well, maybe like every kid. I don't maybe most kids are. I don't know. That was kinda my experience too. I didn't
Well,
really learn to open up maybe until after college, where it was like, oh, they're no like not just like my parents, but they're also adults I can actually talk to, and they're still around.
you don't reach
What's
that age. I didn't think that my parents have already gone through the same thing I've went through. I just always looked at them like parents, that they're older people, but that's not the case. That's not true. And once you get past that part and you do open up, you can start to talk about things that I guess you were unsure of or uneasy about. And it took some time, I guess until 22, 23. Whereas I had two sisters that two of my three sisters, they would always hang out with my dad, always go out and go food shopping, and they would go out to dinners a little more often than the rest of us. And I guess it was just their personality. My dad never pushed for anything. If I didn't want to hang out with him, he wasn't dragging me along. It was what it was. And I kind of wish he did push a little bit more for it to get me more involved. But then again, I couldn't see myself in the way I was acting at that time. So it's one of those things that's just a part of life. And I guess, I guess I won't, oh, God bless you. I guess I won't fully understand it until she grows up a little bit more.
it's probably something that you do understand. I can agree with that. My I mean, my dad he was really supportive, not in a vocal way, maybe more through presence. Um,
I gotta.
from time to time, but do we have liquids coming out?
Yeah, give me a quick second.
Um, so from time to time here on the on these mornings, one of the things that we discuss once in a while is one of the things that we might want, or maybe definitely want to do is we want to be better than our parents. Our whether or not your parents were awesome. I had awesome parents. Maybe you had challenges, but I think the true success of being a parent is thinking about the things. Welcome back. Um, what I was saying was one of the things that we've discussed before is when we're thinking of around parenting, I think the good mark of a parent is you want to maybe leave off where your parents left off and be a better parent than them. They could be the best parents, you know, but you want to be like you want to do better. I think that's a good mark of I just think that's like a good, maybe healthy attitude, not doing the things the same. So, Paul, when you're thinking about your parents, like you just said, you want your daughter to hang out with you more. What's something that you're gonna do different as a parent that maybe your parents didn't do?
I guess really just talking to her, getting her to open up more, and talking about what's going on in her life, and not just what goes on at home. Because I feel like that was probably a bit of a disconnect, is like what I'm going through and me and my friends and what's going on, and because that was never much of a conversation. Once I left the house and was hanging out with my friends, I was totally separate than what happened at home, and it just always stayed that way. It was never almost. I guess they weren't as interested or didn't have the energy to get involved. Not to say that they were bad parents at all, because they were amazing. It's just they were focused a lot on being home, and what was going on around the house. There was four of us running around, so it's also tough being involved in each one of your kids' lives when we're all going through very unique and different things.
Yeah, that's a good point. I never thought about it that way. My dad was very similar to what you described, Paul, where the 3 boys, 3 different levels of energy, 3 different personalities. And besides sports, we our childhood was there was very much sports. It was like that's where energy was put. Not a whole lot of camping, not a whole lot of, like, other things that weren't sports. Trips and hotels were usually because we were in a tournament, which was all good. I mean, I value all of that. And as a parent, I always imagined that that would be my parenting style. But now that we're in that age, I'm like, my oldest did like travel team select soccer for a season with driving and all that. And he's like, you know what? I'm not really in. This is a lot of this is a lot of
Facts.
time that I would much rather do something else. So like those are discussions that we've had.
See, yeah,
Like
that's
like one thing that I've done that maybe my parents haven't is like checking in to see if this is the thing that you really want to do. Because and I think maybe it was just a sign of the times or maybe the area that or the region that we lived in was that like that was sports, you're staying active, which is totally healthy. But it wasn't really until high school I referenced my early baseball career where it was senior year where like senior year is like the big payoff, right? Of like your entire youth sports. And I quit for 2 weeks because I was just like burnt out. And nobody really asked ever if I wanted to keep doing this. I'm glad I stuck with it, but I maybe could use that. So that's something that that's one thing that I do with my daughters is I check in to make sure that we're on the same path together, not me dragging them through mud. That's one thing.
Yeah, I love that. That's definitely something I'd like to hold on to, and I'll keep that in my back pocket for when we can have those conversations.
Yeah. Um, there was something else. What else did I write down here? Um, what's something that you are carrying from your parents with your young parenthood? Like, what's an example that they did set that you are
Hmm,
that you do want to keep going?
that's a good question.
And you
My,
can chew on that for a bit if you want.
yeah, I feel like I'd have to ponder that for, for a bit. I do know there was always before bed, was always making sure there was a good night, I love you. You know, there was always a sense of family, always having home dinners. That was a big thing. Every night we had to be at the dinner table, and that's something I would love to hold on to. I remember as when I was a bit younger, before me and my sisters would rebel, we had to ask permission just to leave the table, whether we were done with our plate or not. Is it okay if we leave the table? Sometimes it was no, sometimes it was yes, and just that level of respect having for your parents. I'd like to instill that because I remember once I started hanging out with my friends, I guess around 12, 13, I seen the way they would treat their parents at home, and I was like, whoa. I couldn't imagine talking back to my parents. That was not a thing.
Yeah, I had friends like that too. Um, from the reading, um, one of the things that I kind of went to bed with was it's like the whole point is making sure that you're aware of like or you're giving the kids the things that they ask for. And this is another page. The Roosevelts, since we've been reading this, I've noticed that like the same families and the same people have been referenced most of the time. This is another Eleanor Roosevelt one, kind of talking about her upbringing and her change going from growing up in the family where she felt like she wasn't getting the appreciation recognition, going to private school in London, um, learning who she was, and finally being able to vocalize all that stuff. Um, and I guess one of the things that I don't want to hear in a few years, like when my oldest in her early 20s, that maybe post college time is like what I don't ever want to find out is like something that I never did, you know? Like maybe we are at a bar, like you said, we finally hang out as two adults, not just parent and kid,
Right.
or some argument where she's like, "You never did so and so," or "You never did this." It's like, what am I missing? In the back of my head is like, what am I missing right now that my daughters wish that I would be doing? I don't know what that might be right now, but that's that's my reflection point for this page.
That's okay. You let her cry. Sorry, I was helping out my wife. She needed the bird cloth.
No apologies necessary. This is your life, Paul, for the next 4 years.
Yeah. Yes, it is. But I'm loving every moment of it.
Yeah. Well, Paul, we are at our 30 minutes for the morning. Anything that you want to add? Any thoughts you had from the reading? Any thoughts from early parenthood? Any questions for those of us listening that maybe you need the answer to?
Couldn't come up with any right now. I am definitely appreciative of jumping up here, getting to meet you and chop it up. I'd love to start getting more involved. I also want to get back onto the readings because I did enjoy my time when I would read the book every day. I would read, and it's easy. It's quick 1 page reading, and then just being able to expand on that with the guys. There was a lot of value, a lot of great situations. Like I guess it brought me more situational awareness, and not even that I'm going through these situations with Harper right now, but I definitely have prepared me for. I feel like some things I'm more prepared for, and I'm gonna promise that to myself now is get back into the book so I can dive deep into the conversations with you guys again. But
Yeah, I wish I had I wish I had found this earlier for sure. So one of my grats for today is thanks, my brother Ryan, for showing me this book because it's been good.
shout out to
Um,
Brian, great guy.
yeah, he's deep in the woods right now doing some reflection, I think. Of, very Ralph Waldo Emerson of him. Um,
Thanks
my
for inviting me up here and sharing the link. I'm glad you didn't do it by yourself.
Yeah, me too, because I went through all of my notes in the first 5 minutes.
And here we are, almost 10 minutes past.
You made it. We did. I think this is one of my bucket list items. Oh, what I was going to say was, yeah, these one-page books, these are great. This is like the picture book equivalent of kids.
It is because I'm not a reader.
Yeah.
I can't sit down and read a chapter, but doing one page is it's quick and easy. It's just painless.
One of my 2025 goals was read one book every month.
That's a lot.
And although I'm consistently reading this book, one page a day is not helping me reach that.
No,
I'm not a multiple books at one time person. So
we're similar in that aspect.
yeah, I'm gonna put some outro music on because one,
It's the way.
while it was great hanging out.
Yes, likewise.
Have a great weekend.
You as
Happy
well.
birthday. How are you comfortable sharing your age or no?
29 today.
Excellent.
Yes.
Good age to be.
One more year to another decade.
You have at least seven more years of staying up till midnight, so no rush.
I appreciate you, Jay. Thank you.
People.
See you, everyone.